Today we're hitting rewind and turning back time to Chapter 2 Remix, Fortnite's most table-turning, nostalgia-mixing season yet. I'm gonna press play and wind through 100 games of pure grind that I hope will show you just why I enjoyed this season so damn much, because it was real fun while it lasted. This experiment requires consistency, so I chose one location for every game and stuck with it. And where better than Slurpy Swamp? Slurpy Swamp has always been one of my favourite locations on the Fortnite island, and today I'm going to show you why. So, I dropped into Chapter 2 Remix 100 times so you don't have to, and this is what happened. Game 1 I landed right on the top of the smokestack. The first thing I found was a purple burst, so you already know this is going to be a good game. I stumbled across this Midas, and I thwarted his midsummer master plan. I hopped in a boat and found an unexploded citizen. When that didn't work, I resorted to simple good old gun violence. Wailed my way up to Weeping Woods where I searched an invisible gnome, and used my upgrade bench to max out my loot, which I used to take out this anime man. I was kaboomed in the open fields of Salty Springs, but with a quick porta fort, I was able to get some height and hold this guy until he kindly gave up his boom bow. Of course, this is Salty Springs, so the action didn't end there, with this Paw Patroller putting up a decent fight. She got me pretty low, but I regained the high ground and she left an opening, which I used to get the kill. Final circle at Sweaty Sands, I have a supreme loadout, and it just became a 1 vs 1. The last guy was looting up, so all it took was one shot with my boom bow to secure the win. That's a Game 1 victory, baby! Game 2 I had a pretty bad drop, so I landed on this little dock. That's alright, sometimes all you need is a green tack and a dream. I was fighting this Spider-Man in Weeping Woods and had to use his convenient rift for a quick getaway. He chased me all the way down to Holly Hedges, but with a lucky drum gun I was able to take him out. He must have come in here with no health. Why would he do that? With a bang and a boom, the final circle began closing around Ghost House. This is an embarrassing end, so let's just get it over with quickly. I was doing alright on the high ground with my rockets, but then I was shot in the back, panicked, and then I made possibly the most atrocious play made in the history of this video game. You know what's easier than back-to-back wins? Back-to-back losses! Game 4 was relatively quiet until I made my way up to Salty Springs, where things got real salty, real fast. Later on, I was tragically killed in a devious betrayal by my fishy brethren. Game 5, I landed on some dual pistols instead of a shotgun and got into a close encounter with this Chaos Agent. I made my way down to Misty Meadows where I was challenged by this one boy. Leave! This is my land! I never did find that shotgun though, did I? I'm fairly confident this one won't end horribly, especially after securing a certified mythic drum gun from this guy. That encounter left me mortally wounded, but thankfully I had a cozy campfire to heal right up. With additional unearned confidence, I shot into Pleasant Park and took out one guy, before starting a build fight with this Midas. He was a strong competitor and might have actually had me bested, until he fell several hundred feet and broke his femurs. Boxed up in the final circle, I was waiting for ages for the last guy to show himself. I ended up making a little noise to attract him. Turns out he was just in a bush, but with my mythic drum gun and a lucky pump shot, I was able to secure my second victory with ease. Truly, absolutely nothing was happening in Game 7, so here's some footage of me farming some I died. Game 8, I landed on the roof with this car. I don't know why a car spawns here, but it's funny, so I like it. Maybe I should have dropped somewhere with better loot. Game 9 is already off to an insane start. I'm sure that's a good sign of things to come. I heard a woman in this small building and hit her with the classic wall replace to get the kill, running through the open fields of Lazy Lake when a boat appeared. Oh no! He can build! But can he dance? After hitting that pump shot, I knew it would be a pretty slick kill. Later on, I was porta-forted up when I was shot down, but thankfully, I had a spare. Using that high ground, I got some good damage in, and despite injuring my ankles on the fall, I still secured the kill. Final circle at Risky Reels, and it's a 1 vs 1. I know that in the long range, I'm simply outmatched, so I tried to close the gap. I was able to get to the high grounds, but, you know, can't win them all. I think this is one of my all-time favorite gliders in the whole game. It's so silly. I tried to stink bomb this Snoop Dogg, but you know what they say, you can't outstink the dog. Is that the phrase? It may say that I have 4 kills in Game 11, but I assure you, none of them were real. When I did finally encounter some people capable of human connection, I pumped one, and then I too got pumped. Slurpy Swamp is surprisingly contested Game 12. That's fine, I'll deal with them. I'm a pro. I thought I could build here. I guess I couldn't. So, that's nice. Game 13 doesn't seem to be as unlucky as the myths foretold. Never mind, I got pumped. Oh hey, it's that one skin people are extremely normal about. Landing on top of the factory is great because you can take pot shots at the poor defaults running around the streets of Slurpy Swamp. Hey, check out this clinger kill I got. Pretty cool, right? I survived Slurpy Swamp just fine, but now it's time to cross the fields of Holly Hedges. Should be fine, right? Well, at least I went out swinging. I spent way too long on this combo, please compliment it. In fact, I think I spent more time on that than I did in the actual game. Game 16, I have a scoped assault rifle, a gun I'm not too crazy about, but it doesn't matter because no one in this game is real anyway. Look at that, not one thought behind those eyes. I thought I was outmatched when I ran into a guy with a sniper rifle. And then I got shot in the back! And you know, I tried, but he had me low, and you can already imagine the rest. The most notable thing about Game 17 is the fact that I'm holding 2 chug jugs. Now after that kill, I'm holding 3! Ironic that the chug jugs I held so dearly ended up being my downfall. Game 18 is played in trios because everything's more fun with friends. Skip to the end game because I have the power, and with a lucky shotgun shot and some gravity on my side, I've just got my hands on the mythic drum gun. That left it as a 1 vs 3, and when the last guy saw us coming, he just gave himself up. Good choice! Game 19 starts off with some good old hand-to-hand combat. I left Slurpy Swamp with a big rig, which I promptly used for some grievous bodily harm. Yup, this is a certified bot lobby. With my belly full of loot and my soul burdened by the bots I have slain, I entered a final circle that was guaranteed to end in my bleh, doubling up with alley jacks for game 20. He may steal literally all of my kills, but I've got dual pistols, so I'm happy. We made our way down to the grotto, where I attempted Grand Theft Auto on this chopper. I failed horribly. Okay, game 21, I actually got my hands on a chopper. This is going to be a good one. My sniper game was on point this game. I hit some really nice shots that I wouldn't normally land. We stumbled across this dazzling pile of loot at Lake Canoe, including the mythic minigun. When you have the combined powers of the minigun manual and capitalism on your side, any win's possible. Oh, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. And it looks like I'll be 22 forever after this. Game 23 went horribly, thanks for asking. Game 24 is played in a competitive tournament. Despite that, there seemed to still be absolutely no competition for Slurpy Swamp. Wales my way up to Wailing Woods, where I was attacked by a grappler fiend. He had a purple pump, but mine was better. You know, I didn't expect a grey bolt-action sniper rifle to be any good, but it ain't bad. I got into a build fight at the Gas and Grub. She got me low, but I got some good licks in. I mean, this could be anyone's game. It was precisely at this moment that he knew he was cooked. You may notice that I haven't talked strategy yet, and that's because it's fairly obvious. I'm 25 games into a location called Slurpy Swamp, so if you haven't noticed that the strat involves a lot of heals, that's on you. I earned like 20 points last game. I'm not sure why it's not showing those here. I observed this chopper land for a supply drop, and I took a well-educated snipe through the canopy. Before I could even loot her, I was attacked by this siren. Our battle was intense, but she provided some easy openings for quick pump shots, and from there, getting the kill was as easy as a little spray and pray. That chopper was deviously stolen, but I did get the supply drop, and it was not worth it. Good plan, guy. Just stand out in the open. I definitely won't shoot you. I escaped the woods but drove right into a sweaty soldier. I fought hard, I fought well, but with a name like Sweat Troll Safe, I didn't expect to win. Game 26 was very short. Game 27 is already off to a slightly less terrible start. But the end? That was pretty equally terrible. Game 28 is adequately labelled. It's also a reference to the 28 minutes that passed before I encountered another player. And after that blow to my health bar, I barely even lasted 28 seconds. I forgot to change my combo for Game 29, but I can assure you that it is definitely Game 29. That's okay because it doesn't last very long anyway. Game 30, I probably made this man's soul leave his body. Then I had my soul extracted out of my body. Hey, check out this cool umbrella I got from that tournament earlier. Unfortunately, I was bugged in Game 31 and couldn't damage any players, so I decided to let this bot kill me. Good news, I can damage people again in Game 32, but you can't patch stupidity. Everybody knows how good slurp barrels are for health, but no one talks about the passive XP gain you can get. In fact, one slurp barrel is only slightly lower than a kill. Can we all agree to pretend I hit that thunder pump? It would have been a much cooler kill if I did. Thanks. Wow, a purple rocket launcher for only 100 wood? What a bargain! But in an ironic twist of fate, that rocket launcher ended up being my downfall, as I forgot they take 4 working days to reload. How much banana paraphernalia can one game have? Not enough if you ask me. I got pumped. We've all been there. Nothing much happened Game 35 except for me being horribly embarrassed. Game 36, I had a little sneaking suspicion that there was somebody behind this wall. I was right! Once you've cleared out the swamp, you're pretty much free to enjoy the facilities. Personally, I like these big slurp vats that passively heal you. Makes me feel like I'm in a really tasty, gooey hot tub. The walk from Slurpy Swamp to the rest of civilization is usually pretty quiet, but hey, it's a good opportunity for some sightseeing. I had to box up at Frenzy Farm because my Deliveroo order arrived, and when I got back I was, surprisingly, still alive. With my belly full of fries, I had the energy to hit this clean one pump. That upgraded a lot of my loot and I was able to finesse this man out of his life. However, I was immediately they attacked again, and on low health, I didn't last much longer. Game 37, I finally decided to give the rig a visit. Taking out the boss was light work, and once I looted the vault, I was much better equipped for battle. Look, I really don't know why it took me 37 games to think of doing this, but once you get that boom bow, you can grab a lot of easy kills. My boom bow skills still leave a lot to be desired, so I had to resort to the old-fashioned method of grabbing high ground, exploding him to take his shield, and using my shotgun to get the kill. Anyway, I'm not really happy with how this one ended, so can we just move on, please? Game 38, we bring the boom! I was flying over Salty Springs when I was attacked, because of course I was, it's Salty Springs. Using my boom bow, I cracked the guy through his car, and then to my surprise, my ChatGPT girlfriend TNTina got the kill. Oh, hold up guys, I gotta refuel real quick. I left Salty Springs, but Salty Springs never leaves you, so I was shot down. Don't worry, it was an easy elim. I cracked this guy through his windshield, and then shot his helicopter down. What followed was an obnoxiously long back and forth as he ran back and forth, which finally ended when I killed him. Final circle, 3 people left. I'm feeling pretty good about this one, but my boom bow is defective. And then I got sniped! That game was pretty rough, but I assure you, game 39 was worse. Game 40, I had 2 grey sniper rifles, and he had a pump. Game 41, I'm getting rebooted in a Salty Springs late zone, so that's how you know it's going well. Thankfully, this kind vending machine provided some slurp fish to heal up with. I sniped the guy who killed me, and while I unfortunately didn't make it, neither did he. This left Lytton in a final circle at the Snoop Dogg agency, but he played it slowly and carefully. He let the other 2 fight it out, dealt some damage to the last guy, and then let the storm do the rest. You know, it may not be the most honorable win, but it's still a victory royale. Don't you just love when you're playing on ping and somebody phases through every single build you place? Me too! Just like Jesus himself, I returned after 3 short days. Final circle was closing around Flopper Pond, and it was us 2 versus 1 guy. From afar, I hit a lucky sniper shot, so all Lytton had to do was shotgun him, and we took home the back-to-back win. Oh yeah, that one felt good after a 20-game losing streak. Game 43 was relatively quiet until we were attacked to the waterfall. With a cheeky tack shot, I took out the guy on high ground. I made sure to finish him quickly, and oh hey, there's a gnome in that wall. The other guy yoinked our chopper, but with a few shots, it went down, and he died to 4 damage. Skip to the final circle because it ends terribly anyway. Lytton is able to get a couple nasty shots in with his grey sniper rifle, but when he gets jumped by a Chaos Director with a mythic minigun, it's already over. Game 44 is played in the zero builds mode. We discovered the funniest glitch ever created. With the car hydraulics mod, you can jump a bit, but if you change the keybind to your scroll wheel, you can jump into outer orbit. Final circle at Sweaty Sands. We have the ultimate high ground on the hotel roof, but every other team wants a piece of us. We fought bravely, but they acquired my minigun through illegitimate means. And from there, we didn't last much longer. Back in builds for game 45, but that doesn't mean it ended any better. You know, I think this is the first time I've ever seen someone use a porta-fort offensively. Despite that advantage, we still got absolutely massacred. Game 47 was going relatively well, but when we were jumped in the storm, I was kindly gifted front row seats to my friend's execution. Game 48 was absolutely the worst game yet. Better luck next drop. Okay, am I crazy, or did my pump shotgun just completely blank this guy here? Now that's more like it. What is that challenge doing there? I swear I'm an OG. I definitely didn't buy this skin several years late. I was attacked by a Deadpool in a boat at Lazy Lake. He was a good builder, but I've got a purple pump. I can't lose. I love this circle of bushes because I can kill a guy who's hiding in them, and then hide in them myself to heal up. Hypocrisy! Final circle, 2 people left, and the other guy is AFK. Easy win. Game 50 would have ended very early if not for this slick pump shot. Now with better loot on my side, entering the end game was a breeze. This one was a final circle in Slurpy Swamp itself, where I had an intense build fight on top of the factory. Thankfully my would-be killer was killed, leaving me with his mythic drum gun. I had the supreme high ground but was mortally wounded, so I had to play it safe. But, you know, I was on 3 health. A sneeze would have killed me. I don't think I've ever used this skin before. It's pretty cool. One thing I love about the Chapter 2 map is the upgrade benches. I just went from a green pump to a purple pump with only half of my mats. 36 damage. Clearly that upgrade was worth it. Let this be a cautionary tale for you youngins out there. Don't challenge me when I'm holding a P90 and a purple pump. It won't end well for you. Final circle in Chicago. A solid gold inventory, a belly full of mats, and a wooden tower. This is exactly where I want to be to get that win. This guy was real slippery, so eventually I ran out of mats and got stuck in the storm. I tried to get out, I really did. This neighborhood is terrible! I really like these fake default skins. My wallet hates them, but I love them. Game 52 I died because he had a better gun than me. No other reason. In game 53, I was basically just embarrassed. Awesome! The violence levels are just as high in game 54. With weak health, I tried the ancient strat of hiding in a bush. It didn't work! It's a tale as old as time. I'm playing really well until the final circle, where my nerves get the better of me and I fumble. Flying into game 56 on our chopper. She's called Slurpentine, if you were wondering. Looks like this man should have read the minigun manual. Final circle around Misty Meadows, we're in a pretty good position to win this. Mythic minigun, a couple rocket launchers, but we have to go towards them. Unfortunately, I go down. I simply lost the spray battle, but Zero knocks out my killer. And you are not gonna believe this, but he hit the shakedown by mistake, and because you can't cancel it, that is how we lost the game. Skip straight to the ends, game 57. I have a feeling this is going to go awfully. I had my minigun and a prayer and, well, maybe I need to read up. We've got 3 gaming legends in the lobby, game 58. As you can see, there are anywhere between 3 and 3,000 people in this final circle, and we fought bravely, but we didn't win. Game 59, we once again made it to the final circle, but this time, I have a mythic minigun and a rocket launcher, which was enough to scare off this cat Midas. I think this might be the worst attempt at hiding in a bush I've ever seen. Do better. We did encounter someone who's read the manual, but I've read the rocket reader. The final guy was that cat Midas from earlier, and it's a 3 vs 1. He fought valiantly for someone at a clear disadvantage, I'll give him that, but obviously we won. Quick, find the right emote, ah, there we go. Game 60, I just made a bad play. Nothing more to it. Duoed up with my Pookie Crutsy in game 61. Final circle was closing around this pond, and it's us versus another duo. With a cheeky snipe, this has just become a 1 vs 2. The last guy was a red knight who tried to flank the revive, but with some sturdy grenades and good aim, the win was as good as ours. Game 62, I was headshot sniped in the end game and didn't recover. And my boy tried his best, he really did, but he was outnumbered and this circle was brutal. Game 63 is blessed by the god of Slurpy Swamp. It would be sacrilegious to lose. As with many before it, this game was going well until we reached Salty Springs. It was looking dire, but when I knocked out this Travis Scott, I knew I could turn it around. I hit this Ninja Turtle with a couple of heavy shots, then broke into his box for the kill. This is replay footage of the guy who killed us. I'd stopped for a second to write my notes on this game and, well, yeah, that was a stupid loss. Game 64, the absolute throw of the century goes to my game for freezing here, because what is that timing? Well, it looks like game 65 is starting off horribly. That encounter left me low, so I stink bombed this guy, hit him with a quick pump shot, but still died. Game 66, my first kill was on a player who clearly had no concept of what stink bombs do. Hey, look at that, I actually made it out of Slurpy this time. Using the kaboom bow, I completed baby's first archery lesson, and with the shotgun from that bender, I narrowly escaped an early grave. The trouble didn't stop finding me at Salty Springs, because it never stops. Final circles closing around Pleasant Park, and killing this poor default just made it a 1 vs 1. The last guy was a competent player, but I had the high ground, a boom bow, and a rocket launcher, so taking home the win was a piece of cake. I had a shotgun too, so even if he closed the gap, I would have just one-pumped him. Game 67 was much worse. Game 68, it's like Christmas Eve. I was attacked by this pizza girl skin. I left a bad review, and then I died. It'll happen to you one day. Game 69 started off with an incredibly lucky kill. Oh, and you already know I emoted on that guy. It's copyrighted, so you can't hear it, but just imagine it. I decided to keep to myself for the most part, play it safe, get my mats up. I have been sniped too many times, and I want to win this, so I'm coned up in the end game. Yeah, I don't lose because the guns are bad, I lose because I'm not good. But hey, I finished second, and sometimes that's what's really good. That one stung a bit, but the entire point of 100 drops is to get better through tedious repetition. And content! You died horribly in the end game? Don't worry, we'll just run it back! Can we talk about how good the boss POI music is? I love it! When you're dropping Slurpy, you usually won't have to flee to the safe circle, but because I'm going to the rig after, I have to run pretty far. In this case, it was absolutely not worth it. How did I do that again? One of my most common looting paths for Slurpy Swamp is fairly obvious. I land on the main sign and open the chest, which in this case happened to give me a gold pump, then carefully land on the roof, break through this tile, and drop onto these slurp kegs. The mats gained from those kegs means I could cone these kegs, then drop down here and break a few more to get up to 200 shield very quickly. Oh, and don't worry, I got to test out that gold pump. I spent most of this game hiding in the rafters of some random house. Like a man would. When I finally re-emerged into society, I was almost immediately reminded of why I left. Thankfully, I was able to bring this down to a 1 vs 1. With the high ground on my side but no heals, it came down to a quick draw. And he fired first. Game 73 is really only notable for how pretty the sunrise was flying in. I died very early, it was not a good game. Final circle game 74 and we're matching, so you know this is a good one. We're trading shots here with the last guys, but have to move to the zone. Using my icy grappler, I slide way higher than I expected, but this actually turns out to be a good thing and it gets me some nice high ground over them to take snipes. One of them pushes us with the minigun, but we take him out, and from there, I've just got to hold right trigger and we've won the game. Hey Chief, you want to tell me what you're doing in Slurpy Swamp? Fumbling the game, sir. Amazingly, game 76 was worse! And like a lot of other games, in game 77 I made it into the final circle and was sniped from afar. Edit coursing doesn't make you look cool! Game 78 I was rudely attacked by this J Balvin. Mamula is better. It has come to my attention that many of my audience members probably didn't get that joke, so I should probably explain it. You see, Mamula was long considered J Balvin's reggaeton rival, at least by the media. Yes, I actually started researching who J Balvin's rival was because I was that annoyed by someone running his icon series in my game. This is my job. Anyway, that encounter left me mortally wounded, so I had to fish my way to good health. Then later, died to a Snoop Dogg. I'm pretty sure game 79 is already over, and I might as well not even show game 80. Game 81, I had pretty much no idea where the last guy was. But don't worry, I found out. I wasn't recording game 82, but the way I died was truly incredible. I have to show it. My drop was contested game 83, and the chest provided a rocket launcher. I killed my immediate competitor to full damage, but by the time I'd got down there, a fish had stolen the RPG, and I got exploded. Somehow it took me 84 games, but I finally healed using the slurp water at Slurpy Swamp. This time I was playing for kills, not to win. Unfortunately, this time I was a victim to this game's many vehicle nerfs over the years. Game 85 I was attacked by this fraudulent henchman. After a trick shot with my bow, a pump shot revealed that he held the mythic drum gun. Final circle, 1 vs 1, we've both got pretty good guns, this could be anyone's game. Drinking game, take a shot for every time I get sniped for second place in this 100 drops. Actually don't, you will get alcohol poisoning and die. Game 86 I played very well, I just didn't win. Oh hey, I completed those Skull Trooper challenges from earlier. Unfortunately, I didn't complete the challenge of not dying. I gotta admit, I've always loved this skin. He's so silly. Unfortunately, I won't get to use him for very long. Okay, I promise this is the last consecutive game that gets cut horribly short. Just kidding, here's another one! Game 91, I ruined this man's entire career with one bow shot. It was a bit sloppy, but I still got the kill. Final circle, 1 vs 1, we're basically just trading shots, and I'm trying to hammer on as much damage as I can to his builds. He grapples in, I fumble my build and get stuck in the storm, and by the time I get out, he's already ready with a pump shotgun. I can't even be mad, that was a pretty fair fight. Hey, pro gaming tip, if you're trying to kill me, do not let me shoot you several times with an assault rifle. And especially, don't let me use my blue pump shotgun on you. And especially, don't let me kill you! Oh, don't worry, I killed that other guy too. Then I ran into someone with a better shotgun than me. Skip to the end, game 93, it's about time we got a win. They had the high ground but had to come to us, and we were loaded up on mythics. With one guy left, we all put the pressure on him, and that got us the win. Isn't that sweet? I guess so. Game 94, we were held before we even left Slurpy. Not good. I was super sick recording game 95, so this skin seems fitting. Also fitting because we died. Believe it or not, game 96 was worse. Game 97, I killed someone wearing the same skin as me. And I think I just scared the hell out of this guy. You know the game's gonna end well when I have the minigun. But so does this guy. His minigun may have been better, but I've read the manual. Used this chopper to get to the ultimate high ground in the final circle, where I sniped not 1, but 2 of the remaining players, rendering this a 1 vs 1. Once I realized the last guy was just a little defaulty fault, I knew game 97 was already over. Have you ever seen a minigun win from so far? Little bit of early game action game 98, but it's okay, I cleaned up. We were held in Weeping Woods, I got some good damage in, but the canopy made it hard to fight, and they escaped. Final circle, 2 vs 2, and they have to push towards us. In theory, this is great for us, but I fumbled my builds and got 1 pumped. And then they revealed they held the mythic drum gun. That guy had 17 kills, we stood no chance. Game 99, we only made it as far as Logjam before being rudely attacked. Critzy went down, but with my superior skin combo, I killed this guy and... hold up, let me just... and his teammates. Final circle, 2 vs 2 once again, and we're in a pretty solid spot. But once again, it all starts crumbling down very, very quickly when I get sniped in the buttock. Critzy tried real hard, but on 1 health, you can only fight for so long. Well, here we are, game 100 of Slurpy Swamp. I'm most excited to stop making the trek between the swamp and the rig. Bow down, I'm the Slurp God now. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Final circle's in the salt fields, which is fitting, all things considered. And after all those times I got headshot sniped for second place, in game 100 it was I who won with the headshot snipe. He didn't even see it coming. What a beautiful way to end out the 100 drops. That's it for the video, Fortnite Squad. I hope you enjoyed these Slurptastic drops. Sadly, Slurpy Swamp doesn't exist anymore. This entire chapter's map got evaporated by a Snoop Dogg concert. But you never know, maybe one day we'll be dropping back into Slurpy Swamp again. And you know, I'll be ready. Shout out to Luke the Notable for inspiring this video format. Maybe he's the true Slurp god. Thanks for watching, stay creative, and I'll see all of you in the next video.